Hey guys, Chuck, aka Basic Land Shark here on Twitch. I'm actually gonna record a little video for you just to essentially know how to do microphone settings. If you're like myself and you have a really soft speaking voice, it makes it difficult for the microphone to be picked up and come through nice and clearly and crisp for the people listening to your stream. So what I've done is sort of outline a few of my steps that I got to make my microphone sound like this today, and I'm really quite happy with it. Honestly, it's the best it's ever sounded, so I wanted to be sure to share this with others and make sure that you guys can do it too if you needed to. What I'm using is a USB microphone. It's called the AT2020 or Audio-Technica 2020 USB microphone, which you can find many places online. I bought mine from Guitar Center many years ago when I was doing music production, and still have it and use it for streaming even to this day. So you don't need XLR to sound this way. XLR is a cable type. Just a USB is fine. And if you can tweak these settings like I have, then you'll probably be able to sound similar or, you know, even better if you know what you're doing. So this was pretty much how I achieve this sound. I have the USB microphone and a windscreen on the microphone, and the USB microphone is right now on a boom arm, and the boom arm is located, it's mounted to my desk, but it's located, the microphone is about 6 inches from my mouth. I can back away from the microphone, or I can get really close to the microphone, and the voice, it still comes through nice and clearly, and that's due to the settings that I've changed inside of my Windows operating system. I'm on Windows 10, and also the settings that I've changed inside of Streamlabs OBS, which is Streamlabs open broadcast software, which is also a free streaming platform or software. So what I've done inside Windows is go to the Windows sound settings, open sound settings right here. When you click on that, you'll see device properties for the microphone. If you don't have it selected, you're going to have to select your input already. So I'm assuming for the purpose of this video that you've already done that. Head into device properties and click on the tab where it says levels. I started with 50. I ended up at 77 because that's what was giving me the best sound. You probably want to start with 50 and then change your settings inside of Streamlabs, and then come back here when you're done changing the settings and adjust up accordingly. It's sort of a fine-tuning process. So starting with 50, and here's where I ended up. I recommend that you start with 50, but for now I'm going to leave it at where I'm at. So once you've done that, go back into Streamlabs, open up your microphone filters, and again, I'm assuming you've already got your input device selected inside of these settings inside of OBS. Excuse me, Streamlabs OBS. There's 4 settings that you're going to need to adjust. So the first setting is gain. Gain, I'm not going to go into what all these things do. I'm just going to show you the settings and be done with the video. Gain, I adjusted mine up to 5. Noise suppression, which I'm using to get rid of the fan noise in the background and certain sounds that I don't want coming through the USB microphone, I've put at -12. I slid this up and down and found the best spot, and -12 was the best spot for me. That may not be the best spot for you. It depends on what kind of noise is coming through the microphone when you're not speaking. So you just want to find the best setting that works for you. For me, it's -12. Noise gate. Noise gate is how you eliminate noises from your keyboard and you know, other smaller noises that you don't want coming through the microphone. I slid the open threshold all the way down to 0 and then slightly bumped it up in this direction until I ended up at -25 with no keyboard noises coming through. And then closed threshold is probably, generally you want that to be about 5 to 10 decibels higher than your open threshold. So again, how I achieved this, I was smacking on my keyboard, making a bunch of noise with the keyboard, and I had this down to 0. I had open threshold down to 0, and then I gradually slid it up here into this range where the keyboard noises went away. And then I did the closed threshold somewhere around 5 to 10 above in decibels from the open threshold. For this setting, I did not change attack time, hold time, or release time. I just left those right where the default was, and it turned out fine. Last but not least is compressor. I left the ratio the same. This is the default. I changed it to -20 threshold, an attack of 1 millisecond, and a release of 35 milliseconds. And then this made a big difference. The output gain, I bumped up to 4. I have a very soft speaking voice, so I need a lot of gain in order for people to hear me clearly when I'm speaking into the microphone. So I'm using a gain of 4. If you have a more powerful voice than I do, then you may not use a gain of 4. You may not use a gain of 4. But that's what works for me. So you have to find what works for you. Sidechain and ducking source, I did not change this at all. I left that the way that it is. And then after I changed these settings, I went back into Windows properties, and that's when I made that final adjustment to the inside device properties. That's when I made the adjustment here with the microphone and bumped it up to 77, because you want it to be loud, but you don't want it to be too loud. And you want your levels to be crisp and clear and come through nice and clean for your audience. Sound is very, very important on Twitch or any platform where you're using your voice to broadcast to people. So these are the settings that I've found work for me. Let me know in the comment section below if they work for you. I'm not really good with fielding technical issues, so I'm just gonna assume that you know, these settings are gonna work for me. They may work for you if you have a soft speaking voice as well. Until the next video, this is Chuck, aka Basic Landshark on Twitch, just trying to help you guys out with your sound. Hope you have a nice day. Bye.